Welcome to the channel. I'm Konzetsu. This video is a port of one of the games I streamed on Twitch, the Banner Saga. I did what I could to thin down the Twitch side and bring it down to a more common Let's Play, and I hope you enjoy it. If you like the style of content, let me know, and if there's still too much clutter, just let me know and I can record a few games special for YouTube. Sit back and enjoy.
Að sjá dreggjana á ferli neðanbor. It has been several long months on the road. The first signs of snowfall accost us on our approach to Strand, largest of the trade cities on the Val-human borders, and our last collection before returning to the capital. Several days ago, the sun simply came to a stop in the sky. Though during these long winter days, none of us can be certain how long it has been this way. Some of the men in the caravan have taken it as a dire omen.
I'd say so.
I am not quick to superstition, but I myself will be glad to be done with this year's rounds. We have been warned by stranded travelers about brigands on the path through Ridgehorn, our road home. Our captain seems unconcerned. Perhaps he is as eager as I to be done here. We will rest here this day and inquire further when we speak to the governor.
Kind of has like an Oregon Trail vibe, as weird as that is. I need to mess with the subtitles for that language, or if you're not supposed to. We'll see. I'm home. Alrighty then. He arrives just in time. The chieftain in red and his men are now looking at a tougher fight than they bargained for. Drag around the screen to see your surroundings. Okay. So we got the portraits. It's order of initiative. It's like an action time, or I guess not action time battle, but yeah. Allies are blue, enemies red. And movement happens before action. This ring shows your shield banger is active. The blue tiles around him show where he can move. Okay. Horned allies are a race of giants called Varl, who take up take up 4 tiles each. They're big boys. While humans fill a single tile. This can have a huge impact on your strategy. Alright, so let's go ahead and head over here. See if we just one-shot this guy. Looks like they have attack and defense. There's probably going to be a good chunk of strategy to it, which I think will be interesting. I might have to move me out of the way, though, if I'm in the way of everything going on down the bottom left. So you can either attack his strength or break his armor. So obviously... Okay. Strength is both health and damage. A loss of 2 strength means you'll now do 2 less damage. If strength falls to 0, the character falls in battle. And then armor's on this side. Blocks strength damage, but can be reduced by a break attack. By breaking armor, you open them up to take more damage in the future. So you probably have some people that are like really good at breaking armor, and then you have like ranged people back here that can pop them. Okay. That's a thing. Turns always alternate even if you're outnumbered, which is nice. Okay, so now we have the Warhawk's turn. He appears to be out of range of these enemies, but all characters can use willpower to boost their actions. Willpower is a limited resource, so use it wisely. By clicking on gold tiles, the character can move further than usual at the cost of 1 willpower per gold tile. Red pulsing tiles beneath your enemies show how close you have to be in range. I guess that's probably the... Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Let's see what happens. Can I just hit both of these guys? Looks like it. Spin to win. Why not? It's just nice and OP. Alright, so we only got one left. Players enter pillage mode. During pillage, each character moves in order, and there are no more guaranteed turns, so it's not like the back and forth. Check the initiative to see how the order has changed. Your allies now get to move twice in a row. If a character does not move on his turn, he can rest to regain 1 willpower. The chieftain will rest his turn. Alright, so willpower can be used to boost your damage. Click the fist, then the stars above the fist to add willpower. Alrighty. Fancy. And everybody just sits and watches, you know.
Like a rabid wolf, that one. How did it come to this? We fool ourselves believing that peace will last. My grandfather built all this from a poor fishing village, you know. He watched the gods die, watched the chaos that followed, watched man and var slaughter each other, even before the dreads arose. All we've done is traded one struggle for another. Now that there are no more dreads to war against, we war against ourselves. This chieftain meant to kill me, and he's not the first. A dozen families in the city would gladly take my chair. This one had men waylaying merchants, both north and south of the city, strangling trade. Quite well, I would add, though he denied it to his last. This sort of wolf doesn't stop biting because the head is cut off. It just grows a new head.
Tough break, right?
I am in a bad way, my friend. Help me finish this fight, and I'll gladly send you on your way with double our king's tithe. Take any men you need. They're loyal, I promise you that. They will meet you down in the proving grounds.
Gather recruit time, I see. Alrighty. You're approached by a familiar man who walks in step with you as you're leaving the Great Hall. He cuts to the chase. Eric, steward of Strand. I manage the governor's business. Lubin, isn't it? Oh, okay then. Sure, it is. The governor tells me you'll be giving us a hand. And, yeah, seems a bit chaotic. I guess go the nice route for now, see if I can get some kind of an extra little bonus. And if nothing else, then I can always just be angry after. It's been worse. Got a lot of irons in the fire. What does he want exactly? Scofflings like that you didn't hack up in the Great Hall scattered after you took out their chieftain. The governor just wants to make sure they stay down. Was hoping you'd join me at the marketplace by the docks. If there's anyone left to worry about, I know who can tell us. Alright, market tent. It's probably gonna have like cities I go in, you know, wander around, do some fighting, go to a city or two, gather supplies. Let me handle this. You meander through rows of open face houses and eroded stalls. Colored canvases flap on a briny current. One man in particular blanches you as you approach. Had, I'm not in the mood today. For what? Talking to an idiot. The Scoffling's chieftain bled out about an hour ago, Had. So when you tell me about when you tell me what rat anus the rest of them crawled back into, nobody's gonna try to kill you this time. They didn't talk to me. Man, I don't have patience for this. Had sweats visibly, fumbling with some dirty trinkets on his table. Wait, just buy one of these. If everybody thinks I'm getting worked over every week, how am I supposed to know much? Just a little food money, yeah? I don't know how much money is actually going to matter in here. If we go the route of like, hey, we pay him, maybe he tells us some more info, or if we just be like, no, we're taking what we want. Let's try the quote-unquote nicer route for now, like I said. We'll see what happens. I don't know how much money actually really matters yet. You toss a sliver of silver on the table. Both men look at you with surprise. Hat gestures meekly to a variety of junk from his stall. Take whatever you like. Only thing I'd like is the name of a place. Nobleman up by East Wall. But that was months ago, last I know. Had skulks away with the wave of Eric's hand, gathering things from his hovel. Disappearing for a while until this blows over, you figure. Your bodyguard steps forward. Are we done here? Gunnulf, were you wearing green back at the Great Hall? No, just bought them while you were walking around. Why? Look like a frog. Better than an eggplant. Gunnulf goes off to look at more stalls. Eric, that man of yours seems unreliable at best. A blind dog wouldn't trust Had, but he used to be Scoffling. If they're licking their wounds, they've probably gone to old haunts, not new ones. Nobleman is in Mead Hall? Best I could tell, the name's ironic. Listen, I know a guy who would love to put a few of those skulls in the ground. I'm going to find him. I'll meet you there. And I guess we should have some kind of an approach. What a luxury. Come on, you've already mopped up worse today. Just make sure the governor remembers his promise. Double the usual tithe. I'll remind him. Alrighty. Mead House. You arrive in front of what must be Nobleman. A few minutes later, Eric appears, with the weather-beaten man introduced as Valgard. I'll point them out, Eric says over his shoulder. Ready? Let's get it over with. That's the spirit, says Valgard. Okay, here we go. Valgard boots the front door open so hard it won't close again without repair. As you enter the hall, Eric is already at the head of the table, his axe drawn. Wide-eyed, drunken scofflings scramble to find their own weapons, turning tables and mead steins in the process. Fight time! Time for a good old-fashioned bar fight. Like, I'm just like hanging out. I guess I don't know which one's actually me. Okay. Do I use up willpower here? I don't know if that's worth. Let's just go here. Save the willpower for some heavy attacks or something like that. Figure he's probably going to be a tank. Just sit out there and take some damage. Alright. Okay, this one might actually be worth it though. Let's just hit him a little bit. Spicy. Do I actually have... Probably not. Something that can hit both of these. Oh. Do I... Let's do it. That was where the willpower was. I knew the willpower was somewhere. Spicy. Yeah, just end turn from here. Yeah, that guy is just getting destroyed. Okay, so if I was to toss that in, that should kill him. If he lives through this, he'll have some good XP. Okay, so I can only get to 3, so it's not even worth it at that point, I don't think. I'll just do like that. I probably should just try and knock out the shield. Does he... No, he doesn't have any kind of special ability or anything like that. How much damage can I do? Oh, I guess I could do this. Ah, it's still not enough. Oh well. I'm definitely gonna have to get used to which ones do what, because I am definitely not being as strategic right now. We'll just go ahead and pop this. Oh, and it hits my own guy too. Did I just full on killed him. Redo. Okay, so that's 5. No, that's... Ah, it's still not enough. God, I kind of feel bad about killing the guy. Let's just... Can I kill him here? Yeah, I'll kill him and then I'll spin with this. If I can do the 2 techniques in the same period. I do like the animations though. That is a bonus. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of it. I mean, obviously we'll have to see if they have... Oh, okay. If they have, like, any kind of hazards in the area. It kind of seems like it's small little fights and then, you know, some walking and doing some stuff, some storytelling, and then probably small little fights. Sure. But I may at some point have to do Divinity on here again. Alright. So, about that guy that I accidentally killed, is he important? I mean, the guy's getting promoted for it. Oh, he's injured. So not dead? Hopefully. There they are. Gods be damned. I've got to go wash off this blood. Yeah, sorry about that, Eric. I slipped. Eric is looking out the hall's window onto the bay. A fleet of longships approaches with sails of bold reds and blues. One banner I know well, Vognir. Next for Varalkin's ship last we spoke. The other flag looks important. Yeah, important guests. See what I deal with all day long? Ah, things make a little more sense. You hoped I'd have a stake in saying everything's fine here when the royal guests arrived. Not me, the governor. Now, I have to make sure there are no rotting bodies or pools of entrails still in the Great Hall before they come by. Can I ask one more favor? Ah, sure. If you happen to stall our guest down on the docks, I wouldn't object. Maybe I will. Eric and Valgard hustle from the Mead house. To his credit, Eric tosses the barkeep a spar of silver for the mess. You give an apologetic shrug and go to greet the new arrivals down at the docks. Vognir. A familiar Varl steps onto the docks. In your mind, you recall a much younger version tramping the halls of Gruffham. Abundant in purpose. Gods, Ubin, you're looking ancient. Well, fuck you too! Comes with being old, and if there is Vognir, there must be Hekon. Must there? Still bleeding tributes from the poor and stupid old yaks. And at what age do you lose a sense of shame? Drunder demands it. I'll take that over lingering to death in Gruffheim. Speaking of, I had no sense that you were so far from home. Just returned from I'm just gonna make these names up. Arborang, in fact. And glad for it. Hakan motions to the other ships in the bay, sails still fluttering. Golden Wolf heads emblazoned on red. The King of Men, or someone on his behalf. The King's Whelp. The King's son, Ludin. Didn't you know, Scrivener? When we visit his capital, he visits ours. It's how you make alliances these days. It's a miserable waste of time. Yes, Hakan has it. I'd almost forgotten. It's a good thing you're around, Hakan. Then you're going to Gruffine? I have the distinct feeling I've finished my business in Strand and was headed there myself. We should caravan. And we should. Give it a day. In better circumstances, I'd drink a week away, but, let's just be done. Find me tomorrow at the gates. What he's trying to say is the prince is a delight to behold. Where is Magar? Hakan, have him find a place to put up the warriors. I'm heading up to meet the governor. A host of giants depart in his wake. You recognize a few, others are strangers to you. Guess I'm off to find Magar. See you in the morning, Scrivener. I'll be along. Alright, let's see. The young prince of men ambles from his ship. He brushes off his tunic, scanning the beach with low eyelids. Ludin looks for all the world the sort of boy who grew up pulling the legs from spiders. The long road back to Grofheim should be more interesting than most years, you think. So let's see what else we have to do here. Awareness suddenly sets in. As you chuckle to yourself about what an odd day it's been, one of the governor's men at the Great Hall should find you a place to sleep. On the other hand, if you're going to join Wagner's caravan tomorrow, it might not hurt to share a drink with Khan, or introduce yourself to the prince they spoke so highly of. Okay, so we can, like, choose things that we feel like doing. Scrivener. You find Hakan in the Mead house surrounded by other Varl. Strand is no stranger to Varl, but rarely sees this many. Hakan waves you over. Went straight for a flagon. Wagner's the one who agreed to pass up a drink. I wasn't invited to the governor's hall anyway. You already missed the massacre. Every year I make the rounds collecting taxes. Every year it's the human settlements that give me trouble. No surprise. What's this time? When I got here, the Great Hall was already full of bodies. We added a few more. Ha, humans. I guess if I only lived as long as a Yox fart, I might be desperate to make something of myself too. It's not too late to start trying, Hakan. Khan let slip a low chuckle. Any Varl could recount his deeds, known as he is for cutting a swath through dredge at Wagner's side in the Second War, and regularly since then. Down here I'm a glorified bodyguard. You might have a point, just another reason to get back at Grofheim. Soon enough, I imagine. You drink until the mead house becomes overbearing, then step back into the cool air outside. Feel bad for butchering all these names. Is this the right place? You find the prince at the inn. Guards blanket the building, including a sharp-eyed Varl who must be working for Ludin. A woman in red eventually waves you over and stands nearby, arms crossed. Greetings, Prince Ludin. Yes, you are with Vongir. I don't remember you. Not exactly. I've known Wagner for a long time. I'll be joining you back to Grofheim with my guards. Ludin looks up for the first time. The woman doesn't react. Why? I work for the king, carrying ties to the capital. We cross by chance. Oh, a tax collector. Fine company. What do you want? Let's see. Just to introduce myself. We'll run with that. You collect taxes for the Varl territories. True pleasure. Yes. An awkwardness hangs in the air like a thick fog. You take the opportunity to depart. Well, fine. Fuck you too. I think that's probably it. We can head back up here now. At dawn, you're awakened by delivery goods. At least you think it's dawn. Damn hard to tell with the sun that never moves. The governor's crest adorns the supply leathers. All there, just as promised, to your mild surprise. You wonder if Eric had anything to do with that. Your gods take the treasure wagon down to the gates. Wagner is already here. A while later, Ludin and his men appear, groggy and disheveled. Wagner steps forward. Wagner's quartermaster, if you recall correctly, in charge of his unwieldy entourage of warriors. You know him only in passing. He asks if you're ready to depart. Why not? Follow Mauger and join the others. Usually the small doors set into the gates would be enough to enter or leave the city, but the town guards have been told to push them open entirely. They mutter things under their breath that are best not heard. Perhaps the governor expected you to draw a crowd, but there's nothing of the sort, just frustrated, tired people. Summarizes Strand well as a whole, you think? This is gonna be an interesting one. I know that I've seen pictures with like a huge red banner and stuff like that. Probably just like, wander around, occasionally have some random fights, things like that. I don't know really how far we're gonna go here, but it's obviously taken up days. Great morale. We got money. Probably have to do some repairs on gear. Wonder how many people are going to get sick and die of dysentery. Caravan stops for the day. A gift, says Mauger, cracking open mead casks. From our gracious friend, the governor of Strand. Hours pass with raucous laughter as the mead is passed throughout camp. Oh. Let's toast. Instead of getting myself completely wasted, right? You raise your drink, toasting the alliance between man and Varl. The others join in. Ludin's expression is like a stone wall, but the others laugh at your exaggerations. Eventually, you sit down beside Svagner and chat. Thanks for the speech, Sir Svagner. Looks like you didn't have to miss out after all. Thanks to Mauger, I thought the damn governor would never shut up. Did he give you the history of his entire family? He tried. Then he asked me to clean up his mess. For your benefit, turns out. I'd have given the job to you, too. Gods, there's no joy in politics. Speaking of, what happens after this business with Ludin? Hopefully the boy goes back to Aberrang on his own, and I can take out some frustration on Dredge or something. Starting to sound like a con. You don't like the life of a diplomat? Haha, don't you miss the fight, Ubin? You down your mead instead of replying. Wagner slouches and shakes his head. There's no great joy in killing Dredge, but pretty sure this nonsense is some scheme between the two kings to force some kind of lineage. Used to be warriors would follow you for what you'd done. Isn't that why they follow you now? Is it? Or is it because I'm the next in line? These lines are getting muddy, old Varl. They always been muddy, Wagner. Wagner stares into the campfire, lost in thought. You leave him to it. Thanks for watching. I'll have the next episode out soon. If you want to watch any of these games be played real time, drop by my Twitch, or join me on Discord or Twitter to keep up to date with me. All the links are in the description down below, and remember to always crave the grave.